Welcome back, Patriots, to another episode of the Bald Brad Show. It is officially hump day. Yes, I see y'all in the chat. It is Wednesday, February 19th, and Donald Trump is still moving to make America great again. Let's give some shout outs in the chat. Q, I see ya. HK, holy lordy, I'm still not woken up here. Danielle's in here. Lulu, Dan, the good Dan, Steven. We got a lot of people over there at Rumble. We got Craig, we got Pat, we got Karen, we got Dizzy, Strawberry. Everybody's here and more people are joining. We went a little bit early today, or I guess more like on time, because it's Wednesday and I have another work meeting here. So hold me accountable again, Patriots, please. I would like to be out of here by 6:45, 6:50-ish. But you know how I get. I fight you on it sometimes. Like, Brad, you got to go. We're all going to leave if you don't get off. So please hold me accountable. That'd be really helpful on time. Thank you so much, Patriots. Well, let's jump into news because, look, we got a lot of it and we haven't been able to get through all the news. I held off on this one yesterday. I want to be honest. I knew about it before my show went live, but it was so preposterous that I was like, there's no way. There's just no way that this could be happening. I'm going to hold off and I'll reserve it for either an evening show if I was going to have one yesterday or for this morning. I'm sure all of you heard about this because, hell, we keep up with the news, unlike the progressive left. Doge discovers $4.7 trillion. No, this is not a typo. This is why I wanted to hold off because I'm like, I don't know. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. 4.7 trillion in treasury payments were missing critical code. Traceability, almost impossible. Oh, so it seems like if you were to monitor money, good morning, Mike, money, this might not be a bad way of doing it, by the way, because how are you going to have a paper trail here? There's no code that would list whatever said budget item was to this. So the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, announced Monday that some $4.7 trillion of our money in payments from the Treasury Department were missing a critical tracking code, which made tracing the transactions almost impossible. The transactions were reportedly missing the Treasury account symbol, TAS, an identification code which links the Treasury payments to a budget line item, according to Doge, which described the use of such code as a standard financial process. Yes, as somebody that was an accountant that used to audit things in companies, yes, this is obvious. This is why I said if you wanted to launder money, if you wanted to embezzle money, if you wanted to move money around and give it to whoever the F you wanted to, this is how you would do it. You know, a lot of people are wondering, you know, how are some of these like black projects being funded? This would be one of those ways. If you've been wondering, it's like, man, how the hell is our budget like skyrocketing? Like you're talking trillions of dollars and all this stuff. Well, yeah, 4.7 trillion going to something out there in the ether. And by the way, there's no way of tracking it. So we don't know who got this. We don't even know where it went to. This could be going in the politicians' hands. This could be going to foreign governments. This could go to terrorism. I mean, who the hell knows where this money's going? And that's the problem. So it's going to be interesting to see now with this 4.7 trillion in payments. Now, I want to be clear. It wasn't like one giant bucket, right? From my understanding, reading this, there was a bunch of payments that didn't have the TAS symbol next to it that was linked to a budget item, and it amounted to 4.7 trillion. That's my understanding. We will see how much the government's willing to spend now, knowing that there's a code associated to this stuff and it's all traceable. Elon Musk led a project to curb waste, fraud, and abuse in the federal government, and he's been doing a great job so far. He's been doing a fabulous job so far. Let's see what the debt clock is showing us in real time here on Doge. We're up to $112 billion. He has saved in just a month alone, $112 billion. The goal is to get to 2 trillion. And what they're saying is, and Congress would have to approve this, but if they do reach their goal of 2 trillion, I believe it is, then they would like, I believe 20%, I think that was the number, 20% of whatever they were willing, or not willing, whatever they did save to go back to the American people. Now, if you're curious, how much money is that? How much money is 20? By the way, I think we should get it all back. That's my fuck. I don't know why we're cutting it short here, Elon. Like, I think it should all go back into our pockets. So just with, I think it was 20%. Don't hold me to that number, but I think that was right. I do know the amount came out to about a stimulus check, more of a refund to the tune of $5,000 per taxpayer. Folks, that is a lot of money to some people. I want to be clear here. The Democrats are saying, well, who cares? It's just part of the budget. It doesn't really matter. Do you know that it sounds, look, I understand that some people this will sound crazy, but it is true. $5,000 can change somebody's life, man. $5,000 per taxpayer. That means if you have somebody that you're married to, that's $10,000 for the household. That could be a game changer, man. They can get somebody out of debt that can fix their credit card debt. They can a clean slate. And these Democrats are acting like, well, what's the big deal? It's a massive deal. Even if it's $1,000, it's a massive deal. Here's the problem. They don't understand finance, especially when it comes down to personal finance. I understand there's people in this chat that need that $5,000. And I hope that you get it. And that's why I've even said, I don't understand why we're being cut short here. If you're saving the money and the government wasted it, well, I would like that back into the pockets of my fellow Americans, regardless of whether you're a Republican or Democrat. It's our money and you are wastefully spending it. And I don't want to wastefully spend my money. I would like to use it appropriately. So maybe I can have that back. So let's be on the lookout for that. We'll find out in a year. So, hey, that's not that long, to be honest. It's long, but it's not that long. George, thank you so much. Look at George, member for 4 months. And look at that badge, George. George, you're a smart aleck, and I like it. I like your humor, my friend. You tax me, but I'll take it. Appreciate you, man. JP, what's going on? Yeah, that is amazing. There we go. Yep, so you guys like that. Now, as I mentioned in yesterday's episode, it wasn't just the fraud that's taking place with trying to trans dolphins in the Atlantic or something. I made that up, but it's not far off to what's going on. We're sending the $59 million to Mozambique for condoms. And remember when you had that reporter in the Oval Office go, Elon, can you address the mistake that you made, that it wasn't $59 million in condoms going to Gaza? Basically acting like, oh, you're spreading false information, lies. Wow, you're despicable. And then she goes, here's the follow-up. Here's the kicker. Yeah, it was actually to Mozambique. Like, it's that bad. Is that better? That should make us all feel better that it just went to somebody else. So this is how they treat it. Do you notice that, yeah, people covered, don't get me wrong, a lot of people covered the 4.7 trillion. I was not getting the reaction I thought I would. Good morning, Heather. How's it going, girl? I just didn't get the reaction. It's $4.7 trillion. Just gone, evaporated. We don't know where it went. And everyone's like, yeah, gotta go to work in the morning. Look, I get that if it's like 100 billion. I'm a fiscal conservative, man. I am an accountant, or used to be. I am somebody that budgets. I am so frugal, you guys. It's head spinning. I will only get Starbucks if I have a gift card, frugal. I brew my own coffee, frugal. I have had the same hat on the show every single day. What is it? You guys saw in the thumbnail, it's 852 episodes. By the way, it's more over 1,000, just a heads up. I restarted over again after episode 300. So we're over 1,000 episodes. I've wore the same hat, the same shirts, all 4 years. I'm a frugal guy. $1 billion is a lot of money. Well, now they're complaining about this. Sorry for the slap. I'm into it right now. I'm into it. Now, Social Security fraud claims under scrutiny. Oh, here we go. Remember how we were called, this is fucking mind-blowing. Remember how we were called the conspiracy theorists, right? That we didn't believe in anything the government was doing and all this other stuff. Now, somehow the coin has flipped and Democrats now are the conspiracy theorists. Elon Musk posted a picture of how 21 million Americans, allegedly Americans, were receiving Social Security benefits. And we saw that all 21 million statistically should be dead unless you're breaking some sort of astronomical records. 21 million every month receiving a Social Security check. Now, that's just for those that should be dead. Okay. That doesn't include those that are dead that were at the other end of the list. And maybe I should see if I can just, let me see if I can just pull it up for you, the list really quick, so I can explain what the heck I'm talking about. Because some people get confused. And I explained it to my wife yesterday. She got a little confused as well. And nothing against her. I didn't explain it well enough. Social Security age. So here's the list. And now don't mind the highlights, okay? But let's be safe. Anybody that's 110 to 119, most likely all dead, right? Yes, 4.7 trillion. 4.7 trillion. All these people, 21 million and down, should be dead, okay? I just want to point out, you see this list of everybody that's above it from basically 109 to 9, or in other words, 110 to 0. This is the lower limit, the upper limit. There's dead people involved in this as well, folks. Now, you could say, well, Brad, some people's spouse or blah, blah, blah gets a check. Okay. I'm not a I'm not a Social Security expert. I think a few people are, because it's freaking head spinning what goes on with Social Security. Okay, well, what about these people? 0 through 9. These people married? Some of these people should not be receiving checks, is what I'm saying. So it's more than 21 million, okay? It's way more than 21 million. So Democrats come out of the woodworks, kind of like Hillary Clinton did after her slap around by Donald Trump when she was running for office. Remember how she went off into the woods? I always talk about that. Freaking hilarious. Well, recent claims by Elon Musk and the Trump administration regarding millions of deceased individuals receive Social Security benefits has sparked significant controversy. God forbid you look under the hood, man. God forbid you raise some eyebrows and go, that's a little weird. Look, maybe there is some stuff wrong with it, but the whole purpose is, let's look into it. And I don't understand what these Democrats of just trying to look under the hood. It's the oddest thing to me. I like transparency. Look under the hood. I've been transparent with all of you in terms of our finances, going, hey, you know what? Just 100% of the benefits go into the show. Where am I spending that money? In advertising and software and upgrade the stuff. I'm at least transparent about it. I'll let you know if I spend something on myself. Some of you say, hey, spend $5 on a coffee. So what did I say? I spend it on a Starbucks if I'm able to do it, because that's where you said to go spend it. I'm just doing what you're telling me to do. So these allegations involve the Social Security system records mistakenly showing millions of people over the age of 100 or even 150 as still being alive and collecting benefits. An investigation is underway by the Department of Government Efficiency to examine these claims amidst clarification from experts suggesting these numbers might reflect data management errors rather than actual fraud. Okay, that's fine. That's why it would still be an error. You screwed up. I love this, how it might not be fraud. Oh, I don't care. I'm so tired of this, because the media keep doing this. We've all sat here during White House press briefings where the media in the room goes, how, is this really for fraud or is it for waste? And what did I say on the show? Both. And Caroline Leavitt, Donald Trump's White House press secretary, the mouthpiece of the leader of the free world, said, hey, it's for both. I don't know why we have to hone in so much on fraud. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. I don't care. And that the fact if we didn't have Doge looking into this, well, you would still have $4.7 trillion just going out there into the ether. Who the hell knows where it's going? And like I said, it could be going to funding all these illegal immigrants. It could be funding to all these protesters that somehow are getting all this nice clothing and signs and food and shelter and water. It could be going to the Iranians to expose terrorism all across the entire world. There's a lot of ways that money can be spent because it's $4.7 trillion, which nobody can actually fathom. So now they're going to pull this charade of going, oh, well, it's just a clerical error. But it would have never been found if you didn't have Doge doing it in the first place. This is why a lot of Americans, mostly fiscal conservatives and Republicans, because Republicans tend to have fiscal conservatives in their party, wanted this stuff to take place. We wanted an audit. We wanted to see what the heck was going on. Unbelievable. Oh, it might just be, it's not necessarily fraud. Who cares? So you had Elon Musk do a sit down with Donald Trump on Sean Hannity. And Musk was talking to that if the will of the people is not implemented and the president is representative of the people, that means then the will of the people is not being implemented. Correct. And it's not just with the president, by the way. This goes with all elected officials. You are there, you are elected to do the bidding of whoever it is that you're being voted in by. And so it makes sense for me that if AOC is going to be bat bleep crazy, my assumption is that her voters are what? Bat bleep crazy, because that's supposed to be a reflection, a representative of who voted her in. In the same way here, it made sense to me why Gavin Newsom sucks at his job, right? Because Democrats tend to suck at their job. They want bigger government. They want government to be baby daddy. And then they're always shocked when the government sucks at whatever they're doing because they want it to be baby daddy. And baby daddy can't cut the checks because baby daddy got no money. If you didn't know, California's in a massive deficit. We're the most taxed state in the union, and we have a deficit.
Why are they reacting like this?
Well, first of all, do you give it flying rip, number one? And
well, I guess we must be over the target or doing something right. You know, if like they wouldn't be complaining so much if we weren't doing something useful, I think. But what all we're really trying to do here is restore the will of the people through the president. And what we're finding is that there's an unelected bureaucracy. Speaking of unelected, there's a vast federal bureaucracy that is implacably opposed to the president and the cabinet. And you look at, say, DC voting, it's 92% Kamala. Okay, so we're 92% Kamala. That's a lot.
they don't like me here either.
I think about that number a lot. And like 92%. That's basically almost everyone.
Yeah.
And so, how can you, if the will of the president is not implemented, and the president is representative of the people, that means the will of the people is not being implemented. And that means we don't live in a democracy, we live in a bureaucracy. And so I think what we're seeing here is the thrashing of the bureaucracy as we try to restore democracy and the will of the people. Is this making sense? I mean,
you know what's fascinating is this man here that you're looking at on the screen. Yeah, he's intelligent, right? Guy's super smart. Also a Democrat. Democrats are upset right now. If anything, we should be upset, right? As Republicans going, I don't really trust the Democrat going in and looking into the books. If anybody should be somewhat kind of complaining and something to complain about, it should be us going, hey, this guy's a Democrat and he's trying to clean up the books. There's a little bit of a oxymoron going on there. Democrats are going after their own people. It's a crazy, wild thing. They're going after Elon Musk. Oh, he wasn't an elected official. Correct. So what's funny is they're kind of making their own point here. I mean, he really was kind of elected, right? Because we knew that Doge was going to be implemented and we all went blap beep crazy because we're like, oh my God, it's happening. What we've been praying for is happening. Somebody's going to audit the government and look into it. Oh my God. And like a lot of people turned out to vote for Donald Trump just because this was going to happen. So don't tell me that this person wasn't elected. Basically, they were elected because this was part of it. And it was my number one issue. And number two was immigration. So he was going to fix my number one issue along with Donald Trump. And my number two issue is immigration, which is being fixed by Donald Trump. I also want to point out, it's astonishing that he's a Democrat, right? And he's being attacked by Democrats. Tulsi Gabbard, I understand she's now a registered Republican, but basically still a Democrat. You don't just flip on a dime like that. Let's be realistic. Being attacked by Democrats. Who else is out there? RFK Jr. Still a Democrat, by the way. Still a Democrat. Attacked by Democrats. They don't have a standard. They'll say that we don't have a standard either. But, you know, these are also people that legitimately think men can become women and women become men. So we don't really care what they think basically on anything because they're crazy. But that's updates on what's going on with Doge, folks. 4.7 trillion might be saved because maybe they don't want to spend that money now, knowing that there's a line item that has to be attributed to. And I think this should be a yearly thing, by the way. I think okay, let's do it every presidency. This should be, let's go look at the books and let's clean it up. Look, not against it. Not against it. I don't want the government spending any money. How about that? Well, we have this here. And Democrats are going, oh, what an idiot. The government needs to spend money. Yeah, no shit. Okay. It was a figure of speech. Calm down. They can't do it, you guys. I'm telling you. They take everything as black and white. And I talked about this on the show. It's not always their fault. Some people are incapable. They're not capable of seeing that there could be a distinction between something being mutually exclusive and not mutually exclusive. They can't understand that, nor can they separate things. It's a remarkable thing. Again, it's not always their fault, believe it or not. Well, we have an update here on the hockey game. So if you weren't aware, Donald Trump is kind of going after Canada for saying, hey, you need to lock up your borders. There's illegal immigrants flowing through. There's a lot of drug flowing through. And he's correct. Canada needs to figure out their borders. And they didn't want to do it. So then it created a toughie. And Canada started booing NHL games national anthem, because when you go to Canada or vice versa, you play both. Whenever you're playing an American team and a Canadian team, you play both national anthems. So they were booing our national anthem. So as you recall, we beat them 3-1 in the game over the weekend, and there was a bunch of fights at the beginning of the game, which we covered here on the show, and I got a copyrighted strike and had to take the videos down. I'd at least edited them out. Well, the final game is tomorrow, and just by luck, literally luck, by the way, the United States will be playing Canada in the championship game. Team USA invited Donald Trump to the game. You were talking, I can't tell you how many people are going to be watching this game. There's a lot of non-hockey fans that are going to be tuning into this. It's kind of like the Super Bowl. This isn't even the Stanley Cup, you guys. This is some makeshift thing we've created. And everybody's talking about the NHL right now. This is not the All-Star weekend. This is just NHL going, hey, you know what? Let's do something a little different. Let's do a tournament of nations. Everybody's loving this. I got goosebumps talking about it. Everybody's loving it, man. I am, the hockey, I'm telling you guys, there's something about pro athletes, and I apologize for going on a tangent, but it is important that I play into this. Pro athletes, whenever they get signed by a team, they start to degrade, right? They start giving a shit. It's like, I got a contract. I'm here for 8 years. I'll take it easy. They're not going full blown balls to the wall. Hockey players are the same. You know, they got to make it to the playoffs and stuff. So playoff hockey is always different than regular season hockey. For anybody that knows hockey, you always want to watch playoffs because the boys are ramped up. They're just throwing the body around at this point because they got an entire offseason to recoup. These guys here, this is different hockey, man. You're playing for the name on your chest. This is hockey you want to watch. And if it was already hockey you want to watch, the game tomorrow night, Thursday, you know where I will be. Oh, I'm so jazzed for this, man. I'm so freaking amped. We better kick their ass. I'm going to be pissed, and I'm going to be embarrassed if we lose against the Canadians. Now, I shouldn't be because the Canadians are good at hockey, but needless to say, I just want to let you know the game is tomorrow night. Championship, bringing the big boys, and wouldn't mind a few of these taking place at the beginning of the puck drop. You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't mind a little bit of raining the fists in the faces of some Canadians for wanting to boo our national anthem. It's bullshit. Sorry for cussing, but it is. You guys can tell I'm a little patriotic here. A little patriotic, obviously. Okay. Do I need to throw this around? Do I need to put this on and throw it around? We have a good time here. There's a lot of new people who go, what the fuck's wrong with this guy? Welcome to the energy. It's morning. That's what we bring here on the Bald Brad Show. I'm telling you, you're not going to get the charisma that you get here from any other podcaster, baby. And I do it all by myself. Now, this isn't to pat me on the back. It's not to uplift myself. It's because you patriots show up each and every morning. I got to bring my A game, baby. We got to bring the A game. And they better bring the A game on Thursday. Well, let's jump into a little bit of some stuff here. You guys like you guys like this sponsor. I'm telling you. And that's why I think they keep sponsoring us, because you guys really like them. You're going to want to grab this up here, folks. Be quick. Get your phones out. Dead serious right now. Get your phones out because this is going to go quick. Are you ready to show your support and style? Sticker Mule, baby, is back in business and has a limited, fantastic offer for all of you. Just for you, for a limited time. I'm telling you, not everybody gets this sponsorship. For a limited time, you can grab free Trump stickers. Yes, you heard that correctly. I say this every time. This is not a gimmick. Free, folks. Even if you already have them, you can give them out as gifts. You could put them on presents for people during their birthday and save them for Christmas. Whether you want to decorate your laptop, car, or office space, these high-quality, durable stickers are perfect for making a statement. Just imagine how great they'll look, and that they're super easy to apply, by the way. They're stickers. So here's how it works. Head over to stickerpack.com, sign up, and claim your free stickers, and watch the fun unfold. Maybe send them to a lib, send them to a progressive lefty, maybe slap them on a Democrat's helmet while they're walking past you. Don't miss out. This is an exclusive offer. Stock is limited, so act fast, spread the word, and let your voice be heard, baby, with Sticker Mule's awesome stickers. Once again, visit stickerpack.com today and grab your free Trump stickers before they are gone, and they go fast like hotcakes, let me tell you. They might be already gone, I don't know. Scan it, let yourself know. Yeah, everyone's right. I love Sticker Mule. Free stuff. I love it. I love it. I always say this, and I know a lot of podcasters say this, and they go, oh, from the bottom of my heart, I really love you guys. You're great. I love you. I actually mean it, man. Folks, none of them wake up at 4:30 in the morning to hang out with their people. I work 3 jobs. Okay? I go to bed late. That's not complaining. I'm sincere when I say we have the best community, so much so that my ass gets up at 4:30 after working all day as well, and then go back to work after, and then wake up at 4:30 to hang out with your fine people. That's how you know somebody means it. Just saying. Actions speak louder than the words. And we got action. We got a lot of action. God, we got so much news and we're already 30 minutes into the show. Jesus. All right, here we go. Brad, stop talking so much and get the people the news. Bombs away, baby. Israel gets first U.S. heavy bombs since Biden's block. Yeah, Biden doesn't want to give bombs. He doesn't want to bomb people. He doesn't want to do anything. Biden wanted to sit back and put his feet up on the Resolute desk and take nap time 24/7. Travis Cobb, coming in hot with $1, just donated on the official Bald Brad website and grabbed the blackout coffee cup from the Rumble 1775 coffee. Yeah, baby. Thank you so much. And thank you for donating on the Bald Brad website. Shout out to you. And I guess that helps me plug that really quick. If you don't want your money going to YouTube or somewhere else, we get 97% of the money you send through my website. So they do a 3% fee, right? But if in comparison, YouTube takes 30% of your money and then Rumble takes, I think, 20. So if anything, go over to Rumble. YouTube should be the last resort, but, or our website should be your first resort. And you can do monthly transactions. You can do a whole thing on there. So just head over to the donation website and you got it. Well, check out the size of this bomb. This thing's big. A shipment of 2,000-pound bombs arrived in Israel from the U.S. over the weekend. The first such shipment since former President Joe Biden put a hold on the heavy munitions. President Donald Trump lifted the hold on the MK-84 bombs when he entered office, restarting the flow of the heavy bombs to Israel. On Sunday, Israel's defense ministry announced the arrival of the first shipment of 2,000-pound bombs in roughly 9 months. Gonna make big boom booms. And no, we're not talking about Joey's diaper when we're talking about bombs, okay? We're talking about real full-fledged bombs. I know Joey makes 2,000-pound bombs himself, but finally. And people are upset over this. And look, I'm not it seems like I come across as like a Israel-loving diehard. I am actually neutral. I like having the Israelis as an ally because the Israelis are very good at fighting, and I don't mind having them on our side, to be quite honest. They could be not on our side, and they could be terrorists, kind of like we see from Hamas. So I like having them there, and it's basically a aircraft carrier in the middle of the East for us, in the Middle East. So I like having them there. It's a great resource to receive intelligence of what terrorism is doing around the globe. And I think that as long as we have them, it helps at least somewhat keep our presence there in the Middle East. And I understand people have problems with that, but quite frankly, I don't care. That's my opinion. Not that, and that doesn't mean they do everything right, correct? So, but we love getting our Bald Brad shout outs in real time. Am I missing something? Did I screw up? Ever thought about moving? Am I missing this? Am I missing shout outs? I'm so sorry if I am. Dizzy, you're screwing me up. I blame Dizzy, right? Just take your own personal errors and just blame them. It was so easy, by the way. We always talk about taking personal responsibility. And then I talk about how Democrats just pass that personal responsibility when they screwed up onto somebody else. Screw you, man. If I messed up, I apologize. Sorry about that. Trump reveals new strategy on tariffs centered around fairness. Now, we did talk about this. It's a little bit of old news, but I do want to bring it back because it is something that has been going on and is going on. Is his tax strategy, because a tariff is basically a tax, is to do reciprocal tariffs, meaning that whatever country imposes on us, we're going to impose on them. We got a lot of new viewers. I want to make sure we get the news out to them, even though we covered it last week. On trade, I have decided for purposes of fairness that I will charge a reciprocal tariff, meaning whatever countries charge the United States of America, we will charge them no more, no less. We'll see if he holds to that. I think that his bumping up tariffs, if you don't want to do something, is a great way of getting things done for him. I don't think a lot of other presidents can utilize tariffs in the same way that Trump does. Trump is a great negotiator. He gets things done. He gets things moving. So there's that taking place. Other news here. Now we get into just random news. We got immigration coming up in a moment, but a lot of this is just kind of random because there's so much, like, there's not really one theme to the news. It's just kind of everywhere. It's like somebody taking spaghetti, just going, where's everything? Because that's what Trump does. He does everything. can I picture, let me portray what's going on with the left right now. Trump says and does everything the media can't keep up, right? And so he's going like, this is the left. Like, oh, fuck. Oh, what do I do? What do I talk about now? How do I go after Trump? Where is it? They don't know what to do. They're like, their heads are spinning. Donating on Rumbleverse website. Oh, we love the response. Oh, okay. I gotcha. I do get a notification. So what I will do then, if you donate on the website, I will write it down on a piece of paper, and the next live stream, I will do a shout out. It sends me an email of when you donated. It might be some lag time. It might not be the next episode, but I'll make sure that I read your name aloud. I do want to point out, you guys, there's people that donate on the website that say that specifically do not shout me out on your show. I just want to be clear on that. So let me know if you do or don't when you send in your donation. You can leave a message. Some people don't want to, because sometimes people donate a good amount of money. Jesus, Dizzy. Dizzy with the $20. God bless Donald Trump Jr. and Elon Musk. America is winning. God damn, doesn't it feel good, man? America is winning. And Lord, sorry for using your name in vain, but MAGA, baby. MAGA. Yeah, you could also do a personal email. Thank you, Karen. Yeah, sorry for going on a little side tangent, but I do respond to emails sometimes. It depends on the email, but I do respond to email. Also, check out my X. Hit me up on X as well. But whatever you need. You could say, hey, I wrote I did a $20 donation. Here's the message. A shout out to you. Thank you so much. And then I'll read it on the show. I got no problem with that. You guys are throwing your hard-earned money. George with the $5. Want to make sure I don't miss this one. George, doctor today said I have a bad rare disease. To cheer me up, doc said, at least you are not bald. Damn you, George. At least you are not bald. You know what? I do feel better now. So stupid. Oh, God. I told you guys I love comedy. I could take it and dish it out. I absolutely love it. George, thank you, man. I really do appreciate your humor. You can tell, I don't know if George is a guy, by the way. I'm just assuming it says George. But that is hilarious. Thank you. I just love humor. I love roasting. I love all that stuff. So send in, like, if you want to pay money and throw it at me, do it. Because I'll probably laugh about it. All right, enough of me talking. Whoopi's here. Whoopi goes full basket of deplorables. Here we are. The name calling again. Perfect segue, George. Thank you so much for calling me bald. Because now we're also deplorables, my friend. We're deplorables. Who else called us deplorable? Hillary Clinton did. Well, she says she can't even talk to Trump supporters. We don't want to talk to you. It's a waste of time, Whoopi. It's like talking to a wall. It really is a waste. Let me see if I can find it for all of you. It's right here. There's so many clips. God, man. I almost do wish I had a producer that just had everything lined up for me. So we don't want to talk to Whoopi. People come out of the show dumber, and her hairline has receded for every lie she has told. I'm the complete opposite. My hairline has receded for every truth I've told.
Also have to get out of their echo chambers, because like everyone was like, Project 2025, Project 2025. If you hated Project 2025, that worked for you. If you weren't super clear or you liked some parts of it but not others, Democrats have to be willing to go to uncomfortable spaces.
I think this is beyond Democrats and Republicans.
Well, yeah, you're right, actually, and I don't like the labels of all of it, because I think most people are multifaceted and don't just fit into one bucket. But you have to have conversations with people who disagree with you if you want to build coalitions to push back, because you are going to find there are a lot of things Donald Trump does that I agree with, but then there are things I think are dangerous, reckless, and want to call out. So you have to be able to talk to people who, it doesn't have to be all this or all that, but find movement on the things that matter.
It's hard to talk to people who support people who think you don't matter in the country.
But it's not supporting the person, though.
But when you support that person,
right, but
it brings... Go ahead.
But I don't support that person. My point being that I don't disagree with everything Trump is doing, so we have to be able to have conversations, but we do agree on these things, so how can we all get together on those issues?
Well, when we find the stuff that we agree on, that's what we do. Yeah. But when we find the stuff that is disagreeable to the majority... Now, I didn't find anything of interest for me in Project 2025. I didn't feel like this was geared to us as a nation. I felt it was geared to very specific folks, and that that bothered the poo out of me. But I understand what you're saying. And yeah, we do have to talk to each other. That's the beauty. That's the thing. When people tell you who they are, you got to believe them.
First time.
We'll be right back.
I can never wrap my head around that. People watch the show. People watch that. People watch this, man. People get out. People sit on the couch, eat their bonbons, and they watch The View. It's just, I don't know what you get out of it. I get a little bit of entertainment out of it, because I could just listen to the stupid things they say and go, okay. And it makes me feel smart. Like I know that some of you are like, no, Brad, you're smart. I really do think I'm an idiot. I'm not that smart. I maybe come across as that. Maybe that's what it is. No, I'm an idiot. I am a knucklehead, folks. If I'm coming out going, I feel pretty good after watching The View. Some of us need a little spunk in the morning, and a little bit in our step. You're better than The View. We're all better than The View. And we're not going to talk to you guys. Okay. Woo. Please don't. Please don't. I want to keep my IQ level. I don't want it to go down. So let's not talk to us, Whoopi. How about that? Okay. And you have nothing to say either. Everything you say is absolutely stupid. Somebody that doesn't say stupid things is Stephen Miller. We like Stephen here. Stephen has his head on straight. Stephen's bald. Bald guys tend to know what they're talking about, George. Stephen Miller battles CNN anchor over illegal aliens stealing from taxpayers. I don't know what possibly this battle could be about, but there was one on CNN, and CNN for some reason wants to duke it out with Stephen. Stephen knows what he's talking about. Sporting the 90s style tie. I like it, Stephen.
You mentioned yesterday, and you mentioned again here, illegal immigrants who are getting child tax credits. Are you looking for that information?
Forgive me. Did I hear that right?
Tax credits. Illegal immigrants who are getting child tax credits. Are you looking for that information in the IRS data?
Anytime a crime is committed, of course there should be an investigation. Is it your position that if somebody who is
Stephen,
here
are you looking for that
is stealing
information in the
taxpayer
IRS
dollars,
data?
the federal government will find every illegal alien who is stealing American taxpayer dollars, and that is what Americans expect to happen.
In the IRS
I don't
data
even
and
fathom
share
the
that with
premise
law
of your
enforcement?
question.
It's a simple question. Will you find that information in the IRS data and share that with law enforcement?
If IRS investigators find illegal aliens stealing taxpayer money, of course they'll be referred to ICE. Of course they'll be referred to Homeland Security investigations.
I love how clear this administration is, man. Hey, if you're taking money, we're coming for you, suckers. It's just, that's what, yes. Why is this? What's astonishing is we're getting kicks and giggles out of this because it's like, this is where we're at in 2025, where the media is just completely baffled when the executive branch, whose job it is to enforce the law and execute the laws in the books, are actually doing their job. They're completely baffled. Like, what is this all about?
Of course it will be. Surely your position is not that we should let illegal aliens steal taxpayer dollars.
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you.
You want to talk about something to be upset about? That's it.
Yes.
What do you think? The millions of illegal aliens who've also stolen Social Security. Illegal aliens in mass have fake Social Security numbers. They have fake identities. Those are felonies. Why should there be an entire class in this country that is immunized from criminal prosecution and arrest for committing felonies? Felony theft of taxpayer information, felony theft of Social Security, felony theft of identity. These are all crimes. And yes, they will be investigated. Yes, they will be prosecuted. And yes, illegal aliens will be deported.
He's not wrong. He is not wrong. Correct. This is what we should be upset with, what he's saying, not what she's saying. And here she's going to repeat her stupid ass question again. All calm, doesn't care about the American people. These people are evil, man. I'm telling you, they don't have a spine, you guys. They're being paid. They're no different than prostitutes, basically. That's what they are. They're prostitutes doing the bidding of somebody else that's telling them to do this, and they go along with it. You're paying them for something. Evil.
And you know what happens when those deportations occur?
Just very quickly,
is that Americans will get jobs, Americans will get benefits, Americans will get houses.
Stephen, if they got a credit, a child tax credit, and they will be referred, you're saying, to ICE for that, and you would expect deported for that? Is that the position of the administration?
If it is found that a crime has been committed, they'll be referred. If it justifies the prosecution, they'll be prosecuted. If it justifies a deportation, they will be deported.
That's a pretty clear answer. And I'm not just siding with him because I like Stephen and it's a Trump administration. That actually is a very, I mean, he is very rarely on these sites, right? Do you see both sides like give a clear answer? He's legitimately, he's not only just he's actually layering it out as an onion of what is going to happen. Clearly, like you couldn't actually be any more clear than what she's saying.
This will be based on existing IRS protocols and procedures for criminal investigation and fraud.
All right,
the difference is that no one is given immunity anymore. No one is given permission to break the law anymore.
Boom,
because
baby.
This is not a country. This is not a sovereign territory. If illegal aliens can freely steal billions, with a B, billions of taxpayer dollars. And I would have to imagine that CNN, which is endlessly...
It's not a billion, by the way. I'm telling you guys it's $1 trillion. Hold me to that, by the way. It's $1 trillion.
Talks about the importance of democracy and the rule of law, would say that no class in this country should be above the law, least of all illegal aliens who've trespassed on our territory.
No, Stephen, I'm just asking, I wanted to get your position on some things. We're not taking a position here. We wanted to get some answers to some questions. There are so many questions that need to be answered.
It doesn't sound to
Miller,
me like you are, in fact, indifferent or unbiased on these questions, but thank you.
Yes!
Stephen Miller, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it, and we'll be right back.
Thank you.
Still, after all these years, I love that smile, too. It's like, thank you. Yeah, you can't say it, but I'm trying not to cuss this year. It's my New Year's resolution. They still, as you heard from the horse's mouth, we're not taking a position in this matter. Yes, you are. Oh, give me a freaking break. They still are claiming that they're unbiased. After Anderson Cooper, Don Lemon, who else was on there? Brian Stelter, really? Stephen Acosta. Caitlin Collins. I can name everybody who's completely biased. Give me a freaking break. Oh, we're not taking a side in the matter. We just have questions that need to be answered. But yet the questions that you propose are clearly biased within themselves. There's actually a statistical term, a scientific term called response bias to the whole thing, where you're formulating a question that elicits a very specific type of response, and that very specific type of response is going to push a narrative that said person that's doing the study, in this case CNN, who's giving the question, it's going to push the narrative and bias of their choosing. We have an actual name for it, and this is what they do. They play stupid. They treat all of you like you're stupid, and I'm not going to do that. I don't expect everybody here to know what a response bias is, so I'll at least call it out for you in real time, tell you exactly what they're doing, tell you what a response bias is, and then go, let the viewer decide what she did there. She picked, out of all the questions, right? She said herself, oh, well, there's a ton of questions we can ask you on. Well, what are those other questions, and why didn't you ask them then? Why'd you hone in just on that one specific one? The one that tends to actually be more biased than others. Illegal immigration, deporting people when they do criminal behavior seems like something you should do as an executive branch. See, what we've done for so long with the Democrats is they didn't actually execute the laws on the books. And as I said, when things become normalized, when you actually go against the thing that is quote unquote normalized, because the thing that's going against the thing that's normalized is actually the normalized version of it, people push back and they go, whoa, what's going on here? So we've gone so long with the executive branch not actually doing their job correctly that when somebody comes in and is a force of nature like Donald Trump and is executing the laws that are actually on the books that you're supposed to do, that you're elected on behalf of the American people to do, the Democrats spaz out because they haven't been doing it for so long. It's actually they don't recognize what the executive branch is anymore. They'll claim that they do, but they don't. I mean, their actions actually show it. They're completely blown away that Donald Trump is arresting people and putting them on planes. Folks, countries like Venezuela, Colombia, the Indians lost their lids. There's protests going on in India because Donald Trump is shackling up criminals and putting them on planes. And I want to explain this all to you before we end. This is important because a lot of people actually are not aware of this. The story got buried. I don't have the story on my screen here. As you can see, we had a bunch of other news to cover. Maybe we'll do an evening show today. We'll do a dark MAGA podcast. We only put this on Dark MAGA evenings. So here's something and a tool that you can use going against your friends that are Democrats, that are lefties, that are getting upset with illegal immigrants being chained and shackled to the floors or wearing handcuffs and their legs being chained together. This is how I have to, I don't need to explain this to you guys. I need to explain this to the Democrats that are in the chat because they're idiots. They're upset because it's inhumane. How could you shackle somebody and send them back to their home country? Democrats, listen carefully. Come here. Come here. No. Let's zoom in. Let's zoom in for a second. Come here. Yes, let's have a conversation. Those people, a lot of them are murderers. A lot of them are sex offenders. A lot of them are rapists. A lot of them are serial killers. A lot of them are drug people. A lot of them are violent gang members. So Democrats, what happens? We got to play this out for them. They're not able to actually do it. Democrat, what happens when you get a bunch of criminals in a plane that's not a normal style plane? It's a military plane. I mean, there's not like something blocking the cockpit necessarily. What happens when you just let criminals just be unchained with a few police officers and military personnel on a plane? What could possibly happen? See, they can't think about this. What could possibly happen when you have a bunch of criminals to the tune of 40, 50, 60 sometimes that are just free to roam around an airplane at 20,000 plus feet? What could possibly go wrong? I don't know. Maybe a hijacking, maybe beating the shit out of the police officers and military personnel and killing them on the plane. It's almost like it might have happened before. It's almost like we can look back at an incident or incidences that was posted by the New York Post and go, oh, that makes a lot of sense. Maybe we don't want them killing our military personnel. Maybe our military personnel would like to go home to their families, just like we're sending the illegal immigrants home to their families. They're not able to comprehend that stuff, folks. They can't do it. That's why you have to chain these people to the floor, because they've taken over our airplanes before, Democrats. God, these people, man, oh, it's still humane. You got to give them a chance. So if you're curious, there are cases. One specific, they always need receipts. Well, give me an example then, man. If you read the article, if you know all the stuff you're talking about, give me the Haitians. The Haitians were an example, just off the top of my head, that did that exact same thing. Yeah, they took over the plane. There's not like what you see in Boeing aircraft where it's a reinforced cockpit, everything's segregated, right? There's a business class, no. It's just an open freaking craft for you to roam around in. So no, you're going to be shackled to the floor because nobody knows who the hell you are. Hence why you're being deported. You could be the nicest guy on earth. You could be the nicest guy on earth. Don't want to take the gamble. Why? Because I would like to go home and see my friends, my family, my children, and live out the rest of my life because I didn't do anything wrong. You did. So why should I have to pay the price for somebody else's wrongdoing? And this is where everything is asked backwards by Democrats, and they know it, and they don't want to admit it. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm here doing my job. And now that I'm doing my job, I have to take care of your sorry ass because you didn't want to actually follow our laws. But if I were to go to your country, you would expect me to follow your laws. It's a damn good show today. But it's right. I'm not like, I don't even need to ask for affirmation on this one. It's just correct. It's just correct. Well, folks, let's give another plug here to 5G here. I want to talk about things that people aren't afraid to say out loud. And quite frankly, we do that a lot here. Who is in control of America's nukes? That's Donald Trump now, but it hadn't always been. Sure in hell wasn't Biden when he was in office. Meanwhile, we have Russian ships off the coast of Florida and full-blown wars in Ukraine and Israel. This world is at its own most unstable point since World War II. And with nuclear weapons, the stakes are 10 times higher. And how do people like you and I stay safe? Well, we vote in Donald Trump. That's for one. But just to be safe, we never know what our enemies are going to do. So every prepper needs to have RadioGuard Ace, the only FDA-approved drug to treat radioactive fallout. Only the feds had it until now. That's why Rumble partnered with 5G Free, baby. You've heard us talk about them in the past. The only company in the world that has a supply of RadioGuard Ace and the ability to prescribe it. Get their radiation emergency kit With RadioGuard Ace, potassium iodide, Zofran, and a Geiger counter, there's simply no other tool in the arsenal to protect against a radioactive threat. 5gfree.com code STUDIO to save 15% and get your radiation kit now, folks. That's radio kit that you can get, that RadioGuard Ace, at 5gfree.com. Use code STUDIO for 15% off. Look, even if Donald Trump's in control of the nukes, like I said, it doesn't mean that our foreign adversary might not do something. You want to make sure you're prepped, folks. I'm not saying you need a bunker and hunker down, but make sure you have a firearm, you have a bunch of ammo stocked up, make sure you have a water supply, a filter, and some food, and a medical kit, all that stuff. And if you haven't got one now, I would say start doing it, because you never know what might happen. We live in a dangerous world, and a lot of people want to harm you. I don't want to do that. I don't care who you are. I don't want to harm anybody, but I got to protect myself and my family. Well, Patriots, we will end it there. Thank you so much for keeping me on time. Greatly appreciated. Normally, we do end at 7:05 around that time, but I do have a work meeting. As you know, I'm legit. I actually do hold multiple jobs. I keep saying that because I don't want somebody to think this is my full-time job. This is merely a hobby. Would I love to turn it into a full-time job? Absolutely. We are nowhere near that. Let me tell you, we're not even close to being that. But maybe one day, With that being said, thank you to everybody that donated their hard-earned money to the show. If you want to donate through our website, just go to baldbrad.com. You'll see the donation button right at the top. It's really easy to access. And thank you to everybody that contributes monthly. Thank you so much to all the members and the Bald Brad community. We'll probably go live later today, folks, just a heads up, for a Dark MAGA podcast. We have a lot of news to cover, and I easily have all these tabs plus some at the top. So with that being said, have a lovely day. Happy hump day. Pray for this country. Pray for Donald Trump. Pray for everybody in the chat. And there is a link to PT 302's interview in there for America's Veterans Stories.com, Americans Veteran Stories.com. And you can check out that interview. So with that being said, take care, pray for chat. Have a lovely day. Bye.